Hello, so good afternoon. So this is another Oy'Nissh vlog. I am out and about today, looking for new areas that um, have wild garlic. So I'm in Midlothian, and I'm currently across from the Dalhousie Castle Hotel and Spa. So Dalhousie Hotel and Spa. I think you can see it in the background. So it probably was a manor in the past, a castle in the past. They still have tourist um, guided tours of the castle, but I think it's going through refurbishment at the moment. I can see a lot of scaffolding and stuff, so some work has been done. It's been done on it at the moment, and they probably still have guests, you know. But there are parts that are available for the public to walk, and a lot of these places in Scotland afford the public to walk past and just enjoy the view and so forth. So I'm going to go through the Dalhousie area and see if I can find the foraging ground. So it's just to look for wild garlic and see what the possibilities are, but also to get a different perspective from Midlothian as to areas that are quite nice and unique. So join me as I go down to Dalhousie Castle Hotel and Spa. So what you see in the background there is the Dalhousie, and that's the sign. So this main road, I think this main road leads to Gorebridge. Yes, but that's a spa over there, and I think the road goes to the castle. Um, Goes this way. So interesting. Many lovely places that you can find in Scotland and even in Midlothian. So yes, Dalhousie was a castle. It was a castle, active castle back in the days, and they use it for as an hotel and spa, and um, to host events, etc. So it's very beautiful. You know how they keep this place nice. I haven't used the facility myself, but the landscape and the ambience of the environment is quite nice. I've been here before, I've passed through before, and many people from the public from Gorbridge and nearby always pass by walking the dog or just going for exercise. So I would recommend tourists to come and check out this place. I'm sure they've got a dungeon tour or something of that interest, but you can check online for more information. So I'm looking for wild garlic, and this area is known for having loads of it. It will be interesting um, if they are using some of this wild garlic in the garden or along the river to prepare meals for the guests. Give them a touch of Scotland, a spring menu. Yes, so it's very lovely. And that's the bridge that leads to Dal no, Gore Bridge. So I'm going to stop the video and take some pictures, and I'll catch up with you later. Okay, so this is the castle and the grounds. This is just part of it. Okay, so currently at Dalhousie, um, they are refurbishing. So I don't think they're receiving any guests. Beautiful though, amazing place. Look at it. Oh, I'll let you see. Hold a second. So that's the landscape in the background. All of that. Go all the way back, and this is the building. They are refurbishing, so they're not receiving any guests at the moment. So this is the walkway that leads to the hopefully wild garlic area, and that's the castle in the background. Look at it. It's awesome. Wow. Okay, so Dalhousie Castle Hotel and Spa is being refurbished, the whole of it, and I'm sure it might be that there are a few guests. I don't know. It would be best to check online and see what the possibilities are in terms of um, staying there. But this is the walk that leads to other parts of the land, the woodland, where hopefully I'll be able to find some wild garlic. That's the big if, you know. I can't be sure. But there's a woodland and there's running water. There's a river passing by. I don't know if it's the Esk River. I haven't seen any sign to confirm. I'd have to Google Google it to see what river runs by. So wild garlic. Already already I can see and smell wild garlic. It's quite faint at the moment, maybe because I'm not in the midst of it, but I can see it, some of it already. Let me show you. Look, wild garlic. Let me adjust the camera. Okay. Yes. See? Wild garlic. So I suppose with such an amazing castle, um, hotel and spa services, I guess they'll have nice Scottish dishes. And it would be interesting to know if they serve any dish with wild garlic during spring, because it would be so obvious for Dalhousie Castle to serve this on the menu in some way, because it's everywhere. It's, oh my goodness, it's everywhere. Now I can smell it. Ah, my nose is becoming stuffy now. It's still early days. It's only February. We're talking about April before anything significant, but already I can smell the wild garlic. And look how big this area is, the woodland. So down there you have the plain, beyond it you've got the river, and on the other side more woodland areas. Just look at all the wild garlic. Look. And it's the smell that you're not getting. The smell of the wild garlic. This sweet dog. Ah, it smells so nice. You know spring is here when you start to smell wild garlic. So it's a good sign, you know, that I can smell and see wild garlic. So the question is, yes, with so much wild garlic, why is it that the Scottish people aren't foraging for it and eating it? I mean, wouldn't it be easier to forage for it if you live local, that is, wherever you are in Scotland or the UK, to forage for the wild garlic near to you, for you and your family, stir fry it like you would use, you would do spinach, stir fry wild garlic or with cabbage and carrot, it's everywhere. And, you know, I don't think people are allowed to sell it commercially, but you can use it for your own personal use, like, for your family, for your own meal. And all this wild garlic would have relevant nutrients to to fit one of the 5 a day recommendation by the Scottish government. It's edible. It's not unusual for British people to eat wild garlic. Many have been doing it, but many more can. Just imagine if more people are foraging for it. And there are so many recipes online as to what to do with wild garlic. So, well, if you're Scottish or you're British and you're watching this video, what do you do with wild garlic if you forage for it? Or if you don't forage for wild garlic, what's the challenge that you face? I want to get further down the hill, but I'm looking for a path. Let me just follow this track. So I'm at Dalhousie Castle Woodland and searching for wild garlic and or vumingi, or in the UK another name that's used is ramson. So success. I can identify it. Just need to see if there are other large areas of it. Must be, it's everywhere. Quite small at the moment, but yeah. I need to go down on the plain or along the river and see what it's like there. So I've got a way to go. Wow. I get this sudden burst of wild garlic and then it disappears and then some more. So I want to believe that while collectively we've got wild garlic everywhere, there are some areas that have more in one region. Perhaps you've got clusters of it. I can't tell from here, but I want to believe that all that region has got small plants ready to burst through and grow over the next few weeks or months. But I can't see much from here at the moment. Let me check. See if there you go. It's piercing through the leaves. Where is it? There you go. See it? So what happened is, on from the observation so far, I sense that these in this area are going to be late wild garlic. So you're talking about late April going into May, leading up to June. By then, I would say by April, mid-April, going into May, they start to flower. And then some will be available for June. Because they're very small at the moment, but they're the nutrient-rich environment with abundance of water does help. So who knows, they might grow faster than um, I anticipate. So in the future, I might have to come back. I'd have to return probably the end of April to see if what I predicted is true, that these will be ready for the end of April going into May, possibly June. So there's an entire wild garlic plant with the bulb. See the bulb? No. So regarding foraging, there's one rule that um, councils or landowners recommend when foraging, that to leave the bulbs in the ground. You see, the bulbs are important for the wild garlic for the next year's crop. So it is imperative that when you're foraging to leave the bulbs alone. Take the leaves, yes, even the flowers, but leave the bulbs in the ground, because it means that you get a continuous supply of this tasty Vominji or Ramson for years to come. But if you start removing the bulbs, that's you destroying the area for wild garlic. And there are, and I'm sure there are places in the UK where people dig up the entire plant, and an entire region now lost its ability to grow wild garlic because people have used up the entire plant with no bulbs in the ground. There's no wild garlic for the next year. So it's important to leave the bulbs alone and just cut and use the leaves. Yeah, good. So I'm more on the plain, and as you can see, wild garlic everywhere, and even right along that region. Let me see if I can. Right along there, wild garlic. They're quite small, like these ones, but it's a good sign. Very good sign. I hope that. Well, I don't know about how landowners work, or public, um, our local authorities, or um, the council for regions like this. If they work, if the people and the landowners work together to promote healthy eating by means of using up seasonal produce like this as one of the 5 a day during spring going into summer, because it's available. Obviously, it's not for sale, not for commercial use. It's just for the public. Yes. So what I'd like to know is if there's any partnership between the community and landowners, or between the government and landowners, or among the landowners, the government, and local community, to use up seasonal produce that are edible, like wild garlic, as part of the 5 a day to meet Scottish government target for increasing fruit and vegetable consumption, because it have been long standing that the government want fruit and veg intake to increase in the population. And this is just one area in which it's possible, because it's already available, during the season. And you don't have to grow it, it's just there. So how how would they work together to ensure that people can use it, and there's a way to maybe um, not audit, but probably get information from service users in the community, surrounding community, on how they find wild garlic and the benefits from it and all that, or what they use it to make, etc. People can create all sorts of new stuff when they get new ingredients, you know. It would be interesting to know because it could act as one of the 5 a day. It's everywhere during spring, you know. Not everywhere, sorry. It's available in this region during spring. So now I'm by the river. So I want to believe this is Esk River. I can't confirm it because I don't know. I can't send the signpost nearby to say it's Esk River, but I want to believe this run all the way to Dalkeith, through the Dalkeith Country Park, meet with another river, and possibly run all the way to River Esk in Musselburgh, along the River Esk, what we know as the River Esk in Musselburgh. So let me show you.